I don't think there's ever been a sled more anticipated than Arctic Cat's Catalyst. For over a decade, the entire industry has been waiting with bated breath to see what the Thief River crew would come up with next. And our anticipation is entirely warranted. After all, the minds at Arctic Cat have been responsible for some of the most important innovations this industry has ever seen. We have Arctic Cat to thank for a lot of what we enjoy about modern snowmobiles. So it's not unreasonable to expect that the next generation of Arctic Cat snowmobile would be something interesting and impressive, and possibly even revolutionary. And the long wait only made this anticipation grow. There's no denying the fact that Arctic Cat faithful were getting tired of waiting though. Some even jumped ship, at least until a new Cat chassis hit the snow. Still, no one really lost hope. It was coming, it was just a matter of when. Today, we know. The next generation of Arctic Cat chassis is the Catalyst. Now, it's not an update, it's not a redo, and it's not a tweak. And first impressions couldn't be better. But the question still remains, how did we get here? After so long, what were the goals with the Catalyst? What makes it unique, and what did it take to finally get it on the snow?
The goal with the design of the Catalyst is not completely start from scratch with an all-new snowmobile, use a lot of our heritage and legacy knowledge and incorporate that with lightweight features, mass centralization, part commonization, better serviceability, better performance, and bring that all together to create a unique snowmobile that is unlike any other.
With numerous design goals in mind, there was one that took precedent over everything else. And while it's definitely not new, I don't think it's ever been done this well before.
The biggest thing that we saw early on in the project was the effect of mass centralization on this chassis. The first concepts we got on the snow were prototyped, maybe not using the exact materials we wanted. So we weren't hitting the exact weight target we wanted, but just the features of where we were putting components on the vehicle, we saw very quickly that it's not only the magnitude of the weight, is where that weight's placed that has a huge impact on how that vehicle rides and performs.
Now, as I said, mass centralization is nothing new in the industry and certainly not to Arctic Cat, but with the Catalyst, no opportunity was spared to maximize its potential.
So mass centralization has always been, on the forefront of our designs with Arctic Cat, especially, which helped us design the laydown engine and really bring that engine closer to the front heat exchanger. But when we came to Catalyst, we took it a step further. We got the engine lower than we ever have before by integrating the lower engine mounts to the chassis, bringing the drivetrain closer to the engine with different center distances that we tested through and validated. Unique gas tank designs that brought the mass closer, further forward to the engine. And just doing everything we can to tuck and pull inches and millimeters of mass closer to that engine. A little change did a lot.
The single heaviest component of a snowmobile, other than you, the rider, is the engine, which is why it's one of the most important aspects of mass centralization.
The laydown 600 engine is nothing new to the Catalyst, but we really took advantage of the opportunity to package everything lower and tighter again, moving the engine roughly 25 millimeters lower and closer to the front heat exchanger. And with that engine placement, the exhaust comes with it, electrical comes with it, a lot of heavy components, which all add to the value of mass centralization, which is the core around this vehicle and improving the performance.
This brings up an important point, and it's something we've been asked about a lot. Is the 600 enough to impress first-year buyers of the Catalyst? The answer is yes, and the reason is that this isn't the 600 you've ridden before.
This 600 is unique. It is fresh to the year. It's got some better improvements on engine calibration and different crank design that makes it more powerful. It's got all new intake, all new exhaust, better fuel mapping, better servo control. It really does feel like an all-new 600 when you hit the throttle, and that's not just because of the reduction in weight or the drivetrain efficiencies we felt. We've seen it on the dyno, and now that coupled with this all-new vehicle, lighter, better efficiencies, really is a home run.
While mass centralization and lightweight were key, and the 600 engine is definitely a beast, there are so many other interesting things about the Catalyst that make it unique. The one that most people will latch onto right away is that it's the first modern production trail sled to come with a belt drive from the factory. And there's so much more to it than just the cool factor. First, it eliminates a long list of heavy parts and replaces them with a shorter list of lighter parts. Second, it's quiet, which isn't something you typically think about, but once you experience it, you notice it immediately. But why has Arctic Cat been able to make a belt drive work on a trail sled where others haven't?
With the all-new drivetrain on the Catalyst, being belt drive across the board, we've done a lot of extensive testing, proven the fact on the durability that we've done that this belt drive can live up to the test of not only our standard durability, but also cross-country racing durability, as we've done. Reasons why is the unique way that the tensioning system works and how we've designed our sprocket and our geometry to what they need to be on a durability cycle. And that, incorporated with a lot of our engine mounting design and systems, allows us to get by with a robust belt drive design across all models. The theory is that the TCL is kind of an absorption link for that spike load. When there's a spike load to the drive shaft and the belt drive system, the driven shaft is allowed to move somewhat because it's rubber mounted. Our system is the perfect amount of flexibility in the drivetrain will allow that belt drive to live.
When it comes to suspension, engineers again looked at every part and angle to maximize efficiency and improve ride quality and handling.
A lot of the geometry did change, but the legacy and heritage of Arctic Cat remain the same. If you look at the front suspension, to the eye, it looks the same with a different spindle design, but we did take some weight out by reducing the distance between the upper and lower ball joint. Again, just touching every system to reduce weight, improve where we can without sacrificing the knowledge and the geometry that we know is proven and works really well. The 129 is an all-new rear 129 suspension. A lot of the parts are shared with the 137. It does have the long race front arm on it for packaging reasons. It's an uncoupled skid. Give that rider the ability to move forward and position his weight to get the vehicle to do what he wants it to do or she wants it to do. The rear suspensions on I'll start with the 137, is very similar to today's 137. However, there are subtle changes we've done with moving some geometry around to either better track tension or better shock movement and positioning. A lot of those same parts are carryover, like the arms and the shocks and whatnot, but the valving is different. Springing is different. This vehicle is 10% lighter, so it takes a lot different calibration to get that sled to work.
When you move rearward on the sled, even more cool design features emerge. The one-piece tunnel and running board mounting system is in reality pretty genius when you stop and think about it. First of all, the running boards are composite, not aluminum. They are made from a proprietary material that is extremely strong and durable, but that stays flexible in the cold. There's only one running board across the entire Catalyst lineup, but how it mounts to the one-piece tunnel is unique to each model.
The all-new composite running boards are very unique. The ability to shed snow, dampen vibration in the rider's foot, make it a very unique and interesting design. Also, the running boards are shared between all the segments of the Catalyst. The all-new tunnel design is it's a lightweight feature. It's more durable. How it integrates to the chassis still makes it very serviceable for the end consumer and the dealer. Along with the running boards, the toe stops and the rear kickups are made from the same composite material. Very durable, very resistant to impact in cold weather.
If there was one thing I noticed immediately when I first sat on the Catalyst, it was the ergonomics. They are completely different than a Procross, and in my opinion, they're darn near perfect.
So the ergonomics of this vehicle are, second to none in my opinion, which is a very biased opinion, but how they kind of came about was, starting this design, we laid out everything from the inside moving out. And when we did that, we moved everything as low as we could, and then just shrunk the plastics to as close to those components as we could. And basically in the end, you end up with what you have here. Letting the function of the vehicle determine the style was a big contributor to that, and that's what you feel.
While there is a lot more to talk about when it comes to the design of the Catalyst, there is only so much time available. What is important to know now, though, is that Arctic Cat is back with a new platform that doesn't just bring innovation for the sake of impressive numbers. It's uniquely designed to be a better snowmobile than anything else we've seen from them before. And there's no question that it is in every conceivable way.